Hello everybody, welcome back to week 4 of Flocknest. 4 weeks. Damn, that kind of sucks to even say. Not gonna lie, I wasn't really looking forward to making this week's Flocknest just because of the timing of it. I felt like I recorded episode 3 days ago, and it's already been 7 days, which is kind of scary. But I wanted to fire it up, wanted to do it because I set the goal of having to do one of these every week. And not saying it feels like a chore, I actually enjoy doing these. It's kind of a break of stuff. In this episode, I wanted to talk about nostalgia. Keep it a little bit lighthearted in some ways. Now, nostalgia's weird, because when you have discussions about nostalgia, it goes both ways. It either goes in like a self-reflection, sad kind of, vibe, or oh, I'm happy of those good times. That was really funny. I miss those times. Either way, the conversation gets sad. Anytime I reflect on the past and stuff, it gets sad. And I found myself getting into pits of nostalgia a lot now, in both online ways and real-life ways. So I touched base again with a friend from high school, and we were reflecting on the past, talking about funny things we had, inside jokes, just shit that happened throughout our 4 years. And it was a really nice conversation. But I'd be a liar if I said in some ways it didn't make me sad. It is kind of sad to reflect on the past and see things that were good, because in the moment, they might not be so hot. But when you go back and look at it, it's a whole different picture. Because usually when you reflect on nostalgia, it's mostly just saying the good times of stuff. Because I don't really think you get nostalgia of bad times. You remember bad times for sure, but you don't get like that nostalgic feeling. And I realized that, wow, I actually do have a lot of nostalgia. And in some ways, nostalgia kind of sucks. The shitty thing about nostalgia is that you can't always get stuff back. Like a nostalgia I usually reflect on a lot has been with video games lately. Not gonna lie, I've been really struggling with playing games just because I don't have the desire to play them anymore. And I'm just kind of too old for them. Like Dying Light came out recently, even Elden Ring came out recently. And I just cannot be bothered to sit there and play for 15 hours a session just grinding at it. And I was reflecting on it. I was like, are games kind of boring, or is it just me? Why am I not getting excited anymore? And I just realized I'm an adult. I don't really have time, and if I did have time, I wouldn't want to use it to just play a fucking video game all day. But go back to 8th grade me, 16-year-old me, 15, 14. And I remember when Black Ops 3 came out, or Battlefront 2015, or when I first built a computer to play CSGO, all I would do was just play all day and have nothing to worry about. And I look back at that time because, while in the moment, oh my god, I fucking hated school, hated high school, hated doing schoolwork, stressed with grades. Reality wasn't that big of a deal. The grades could have been easy if I just applied myself to them, which I ended up doing, but like, I didn't fail high school. I did pretty decent. I'm just bitching and moaning. Or I would bitch and moan back then about the simplest shit. But I look back at stuff like that, and I do get kind of nostalgic. Being a kid with no worries, like the biggest worry was doing my schoolwork and playing games all day. And even, let's go even back further than that. Like elementary. Watching Cartoon Network, not a fucking care in the world. Just chilling and relaxing. Total innocence. Now that's deep nostalgia stuff I look at. I'm like, damn. But even recently, I've been getting hit with nostalgia waves that aren't even too complex. Like in 2021, that was a specific year for me where a lot changed quickly. I had a YouTube channel, but it wasn't big. I had a lot going on, and a lot snowballed pretty fast. So weirdly, I think a game that came out right when I was starting to like grow my channel a little bit was Cyberpunk. I remember I had essays for school, and I was also trying to play Cyberpunk on the side, and then I was using the Cyberpunk footage to put into YouTube videos. So it was like a little triangle that was just keep cycling, and it was really funny. But yeah, every time I play that game though, I think of like the humble beginnings of stuff. And I'm starting to find myself getting caught in a lot of loops of that. Like there's an album that came out last year by my favorite band, Brockhampton, called Roadrunner. And I remember a specific time of when that came out. I was in my old house, and when it came out, I went for a walk to listen to it, and it was really cold. And now every time when I hear that album, I think of 2021 and like my life transitioning and fearing growing up and just basic adolescence issues. Or even when I listen to other projects like Igor from Tyler the Creator back then. I was going on a vacation, and I remember going on a flight and looking out the window and hearing Gone Gone Thank You. I have a lot of specific nostalgia memories when it comes to shit. Even video games. I remember playing certain video games and taking me to a time. Oh, like when Fallout 4 came out, I was in 8th grade, and I got it for Christmas. And I just played it all fucking day. Not a care in the world. Childhood nostalgia is kind of sad, though, because you realize that you're never going to get that time back. And even if you could have that time back, you're a whole different person. Like, I have a lot of free time on my hands, but I feel guilty now when I want to do stuff because it's not the same, and I just think it's a waste of time. Like, I can't sit there and just play video games for 24 hours a session. It just doesn't hit the same anymore. The thing that's also weird about nostalgia, though, is that you don't know when you're making it. Like, I would say 2019 was a pretty weird time in life. I was not happy 2019, probably one of the worst years of my life. And I would have never thought that I'd be making memories and nostalgia. But I look back at 2019, and I don't really see a lot of the bad stuff anymore. I just kind of look at the fun, good stuff. It was nice to kind of have that humbling moment of, wow, like, touch base with the human side of me. But those little hard times did kind of bring a lot of my friend group together. And we were all still in town, chilling and together. And that year I got my dog at the age of 16. And I could go back and look at little photos of him. And yeah, it makes me nostalgic. I get sad. He'll never be that small again. But he's a small dog, so he'll be tiny relatively. But even like friend groups now. A lot of my friend group has split, gone different routes. And I'll get Snapchat memories from like 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. And I'll be like, damn, I remember when that happened. I guess the important thing too, though, is to remember, even in tough times, though, you might have things you might not like in the moment. But then you'll go back and look at it and be like, damn. Like right now, shit isn't too hot. I'm in a transitioning phase. I don't really know what's going on in life. But probably 3 years from now, I'll look back and be like, damn, the humble beginnings. Because I do believe shit's going to get way better. And then I'll build nostalgia for now. Even recent albums, I could pinpoint to a time. Like Donda didn't even come out that too long ago. But I remember what video I was making the Back for Blood video when I was on the hype train. And I remember the listening parties, and yeah, it reminds me of a time. This was a weird discussion, though, because I don't really guess where I was going. It was just straight up rambling. But hey, this is Flocknest. This is what I'm supposed to do. It's just a little ramble center. Even 3 years from now, I might even look back at Flocknest if I stay with it and be like, damn, look at my little self talking to fucking a YouTube channel on the internet. I liked that, though. I like having that little humble beginning mark. This all stemmed because I was watching a Nakey Jakey video yesterday when he had 5,000 subs. And he moved back into his sister's apartment because he was poor. And he was so optimistic about it. And he was definitely struggling. And now he lives in like a New York apartment making an album like 3 years later. So much could fucking happen in 3 years. So much. And it's weird because I bet he probably looks back at old videos sometimes. And maybe he's like, damn, did not like that physician. But I liked having the hunger for stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm fucking stupid. You could tell me if I sound stupid or dumb. With that, though, that's this week's episode of Flocknest. Tell me, do you have a time in life where you definitely get nostalgia? Do you have an album, a video game? Just tell me something that makes you nostalgic. And tell me something now you think you'll find nostalgic in the future. With that, I'll be seeing you guys next week on another episode of Flocknest. Happy I'm sticking with this channel, and I'll see you then. Goodbye. Also, wait. FYI, I'm sorry for all the fucking Battlefront footage, but God, I'm just so good at this game. Okay, see ya.